I want to really explain the concept of mind, body, soul today. So I'm here with Arlo. We are in Barcelona, Spain, solo traveling, just living life, following what my soul wants, and learning so much in the process about my soul's path, about all of our soul's paths. Like if you're here watching this video, it's probably because you have some kind of resonance with this message that's going to come through for whatever that is in your own experience. But what I know to be true is that we are here in this lifetime, so many of us, to help the planet shift into the new consciousness, into the new earth. And so Earth is going through a shift right now where we were going from 3D and we're moving into this 5D energy. I honestly am still understanding that concept of how it wasn't 3D to 4D to 5D. It seems like it's 3D to 5D. But either way, the whole idea is that we're moving into this new earth energy where we can think of the dimensions as in alignment with our chakras. So the first dimension would be the root, and the second is the solar or sacral, and then the third is the solar, and then we're moving up to the heart. And so 4D would be in the heart, and then we're moving up and up and up. And so the teachings in the law of one talk about how the universe works in octaves. So it's in like 8 dimensions, and then you move to the next one, and it's for infinity. And so the shift happens naturally. That's like the progression of the universe. Sorry if you hear noises in the back. Arlo just discovered his bone that I got him on our road trip yesterday. So, Arlo, let's maybe not un momento. Let's do it a little bit later, okay? Oh, okay. We'll get through this message first. And so we move through octaves. The shift is naturally happening. It is bound to happen. And part of being in this experience right now, why we signed up to be here, is to assist in the shift, to assist in bringing in the new consciousness for the planet and for all those living on Earth. And so there's the concept that some of us are wanderers. If Earth feels very foreign to you and like you've never been here before, and it's just kind of, odd and unfamiliar and all of that. I know a lot of us do feel that. I feel that. There's the concept of star seeds, which I don't know if everyone's a star seed, but many of us are. We come from other planets, other consciousnesses, but we also have, it's not like we just come from one place, because the truth of where we come from would be, if it resonates, what this resonates with my knowing is that we all come from a one infinite consciousness, that God energy. We are all one with God. And so whatever word you use for God, but one infinite consciousness seems to work as well. And so in that, we come on Earth and we have, and this is what I've been shown in my meditations recently, and just the topic is, it's really just making so much sense to me for all the years that I was feeling. How about you come up here? Come up here. Come up on the bed. Good boy. He's ready to go play. For all the years that I was feeling so, lost, like I wasn't living the life for me, like nothing really felt authentic. I felt like I was like putting on a show, and I was having a lot of physical symptoms. I'm still healing some of the physical symptoms as I move through this work. My physical conditions have shown me, they have been my path to learning all that I, came to Earth to learn, or a lot of what I came to Earth to learn. Going through a chronic illness or, whatever it is, can be such a spiritual experience. It can help us remember so much, but so many experiences, hardships on Earth can be that for us. And so feeling lost, feeling like you're living a life that's not meant for you, and having physical ease within the body, within the physical body. And so something that I've been shown over the past few months that I talked about in a recent video are these stars that I've been shown within my being. One in the heart was the first one that I was shown, and then over time I was shown one in the mind, or actually I don't remember which one was first. In the mind around the third eye area, and then most recently within the root chakra area. And so the concept is, what I realized recently is, the star here is our mind. The star in the heart is our soul. The star in the root chakra is our body. And then I was shown the concept of that further. And so each of those cannot operate on their own in this physical reality on Earth. And for some reason, whatever the contracts are of Earth, we had to forget that there's the Trinity, the divine union of the three, in order to remember. And so the hotel that I'm in also, it's like so adorable and very wholesome and family-like, but like the host, I think, lives here with his family, and they had a big party last night, the kids did, and so I think they're just waking up. But anyway, just solo travel updates within this spiritual video. So we have the soul, the all-knowing, right? And I've talked about this before, but I think I'm feeling so called to really bring this message through for whoever else needs to hear it or understand it further. The soul is the all-knowing. The mind gets to choose. The mind has the free will. They need each other. They need each other, and together they are so powerful, right? Together they are the most divine experience. And so it's like, a beautiful marriage. And if we're not talking about male and female genders, but like within the masculine and feminine energies, it's like the masculine can do and can provide and can protect and make the decisions and lead. And then the feminine can be that intuition and be that guidance and be that creation, that creative, that nurturing, right? And so together they create this balance. But on their own, there might be, you can find within your own being, you can find the feminine and the masculine, but just on their own, it's like the masculine, the mind, will not be able to like have that inner guidance, that wisdom, like, where do I go? And so when we're feeling so lost and we're feeling like we're living a life that is not our own, it is because we've been operating in the mind without the connection with the soul. We've been making decisions just purely from the patterns of the mind and of the unconscious, and from what we pick up from other people, from what we picked up from our subconscious being programmed until we were the age of 7, from what we see, on TV and the media, from what we don't even understand that we're picking up from other people. Because, we can go to a restaurant and we're ordering food, and then we're all of a sudden having these thoughts, like dark thoughts, sad thoughts, and maybe the waiter just went through a breakup, but you're not realizing that we're all part of this like one consciousness. And so we're picking up things everywhere we go. When I would drive in LA for work in the past year, at the job that I recently, like 6 months ago, left, but I would be in the car and I would be in this traffic, and people aren't very happy in LA traffic, and I would just be like, wow, I'm having some odd thoughts, like these aren't my thoughts, these are not me, but this is what's going on here. And it's not very common. We're not taught to recognize that we can pick up thoughts that are not our own, right? But if we're not aware of that throughout our life, then we will be making decisions from that place, and we will be building life, like our entire life, from that place, if we're not making the intention to tune in with our soul and to make decisions with our soul, to merge with our soul and to create a life from that place. Because the concept from Transurfing, the book Transurfing, is that the mind and the soul have to come into alignment to make a decision, right? And so if the mind doesn't believe, because also a big part of our conditioning in our society, from whatever reason, is that we often believe that we can't have what we actually want, that we have to work really hard, or that it's, the things that we want can't actually make money or won't actually make us happy, or, we create all these limiting beliefs about them. So our soul is like, I want to be free. I want to solo travel Europe. I want to travel Europe. But the mind has been conditioned to say, no, that's not possible. Like, do it when you have a ton of money. Do it when you whatever. Makes all of these things, these conditions, these limiting beliefs. And so they can't come into agreement. And so that's why we can't create, another reason why we can't create a life of alignment with our soul is if we are just operating in the beliefs of our mind that are not in true guidance with our soul. And so then what happens is that our mind and our soul can agree on the things that we don't want, and we can create a life from there. Or the mind is just choosing things based off of the conditions, or based off of the patterns and the things that it's observing within the environment and the thoughts that it's picking up from other people. And it's choosing that path. It's choosing to, I'm going to work so hard and I'm going to push, because we can have two ways of manifestation, internal and external intention. So the internal is when we are pushing through. We are making it happen. We're working hard. We're choosing these things. But for some reason, we get to the destination and we're just not happy. We're just not happy because we are forcing something to happen. And that is possible. We can force things to happen, but it ends up not being what we want because it was never what our soul was saying. But if we allow our mind and our soul to merge into this divine union relationship where the masculine and the feminine are together, and we'll get into the body, but when the masculine and the feminine are together in agreement, then we can do the external intention, which Transurfing the book talks about. I love this book. It's really just been so eye-opening and given me such a foundation for understanding these concepts of quantum physics and how we can, choose from the infinite possibilities within the quantum field. It's so incredibly fascinating. So when the mind and the soul come into agreement, come into unity together, then we can have external intention happen, which is where we choose with our free will, with the mind's free will. We choose what the soul wants. And if you don't know, you can just say, I choose what the soul wants. I choose this thing if it's what my soul wants. If not, I choose whatever my soul wants. And then allowing it to happen, allowing that to become your reality, and you shift into it. You don't have to force it. You get to choose and then go through the rhythms of life and start seeing what's true and not true. Start seeing, all these other things that try to keep you unconscious, that try to keep you in the old way of being where you were just operating in your mind, the conversations, the situations, the things that bring up fear that are not in alignment with understanding that you are an infinite being, you are infinite abundance, you are unconditional love, you can have whatever you want. There are infinite possibilities, infinite timelines. Every single thing that you want exists right now. Time and space are not real. So you can have absolutely anything you want because you already have it. That's been something that has been coming through a lot for me recently, is you already have it. Ever since I came here to Europe, I've been seeing in my meditations and hearing in my meditations, follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. I'm like, why follow the yellow brick road? I don't even remember the video, right? Or the Wizard of Oz. I don't remember what happens in that, but I'm like, okay. And then I start understanding that when they get to the wizard tries to just make them finally understand by performing a fake little ritual. Sorry, also dog barking. Just a lot of things going on here in Spain, but it's all good. I love the energy. The scarecrow and the Tin Man and the lion, they already had the things that they wanted. They wanted courage, they wanted a mind, they wanted a heart, but they already had it. And they see that in their journey on the way to go see the wizard. They see the evidence that they already have everything that they want. You already have everything that you want. It already exists. All you have to do is merge the mind and the soul, because when you do that and you choose from that place and you allow yourself to shift into that reality, which things will fall apart. But you have to trust that if you are choosing alignment with your soul, if you are choosing to follow that guidance, that wisdom, and actually trust the feminine within your masculine beings, then, whatever isn't meant for you is going to fall away. But that is okay, because then you are shifting into the reality that will bring you true fulfillment, instead of everything that you've been working so hard, trying to make it work, trying to make the relationship work, trying to make the job happy, there's a reason why it's not fulfilling and happy. Maybe it's not what your soul wants. But if you can trust, like how you would look at a marriage, right? You would just want the masculine to trust the feminine. You'd want them to see each other as equals, right? Because the feminine is equal to the ability to guide and to decide and to choose and to, all that. The wisdom is so important. But why in this reality have we been taught to not acknowledge the wisdom, the feminine? Allow that to happen within your body. And so it's like the parents. I talked about that in one of my recent videos. It's like, then they are the parents. And then you turn to the body. The body is the creation here on earth. The body is what's experiencing this. And so often the body is having these symptoms because it's like, listen, I need your help, I need you to hear that, like, I'm still trapped in this emotion here, and I'm still trapped in this story here, like, The Body Keeps a Score, great book. It explains this concept further. It's like all these things within our body can be stored memories, repressed memories, fears, traumas, all these things. And so when the body feels so disconnected from the parents because they're operating on their own, the masculine and the feminine are operating on their own, it's like, wow, I feel so abandoned. Nobody's even listening. I'm sending out all these things like, I need help. I need to be listened to. I need to be tended to. I need some care. And they're not able because they're so stuck in their own worlds. They're so stuck in their own separation, their isolation. But when you can merge all three together, you can merge the masculine and the feminine together, say, we're going to start creating life from this place, from this soul-aligned place, and we are going to acknowledge the body as our beautiful creation here on earth, as part of the earth, as our ability to experience this physical reality, as our vessel. And we will start to really nurture the body in the ways that it is asking to be nurtured and heard, and then we come into alignment and nothing gets ignored. Those internal cues from the soul don't get ignored, right? The mind starts having the ability to have thoughts that are in alignment with the soul. And so then together the mind gets to start choosing with the free will. The body starts like being heard with the messages that it's sending. And so together they all get to feel safe, right? And so that's the unity that, like, it's just, we've heard, so many of us have heard mind, body, soul, right? Mind, body, soul, it's so important. But like when you really understand each individual in that trinity and what they're experiencing in the separation of not being part of the trinity, then you start to understand why it's so important for the three of them to come together and what is possible when they do. What's possible is a life of true fulfillment, is getting what you want, is remembering who you are, right? This is what I know to be true. We are souls, spiritual beings, having a human experience within our body, and our mind allows us to choose and navigate throughout this experience, and our soul is the driver of this experience, sending the wisdom, sending the cues. So together, when they all come together, that is where we find fulfillment. And so I hope that this message made sense, resonates. I'm really, really drawn to talking to this topic. My host is now in front of me and watching me talk to my camera. I love it here though. It's so wholesome, so great. So a little update on solo travels. If you have been following along, I am waiting to hear about the van. I am looking to purchase it. I have sent the money. And so hopefully, everything works out. International transfers can be a little bit tricky, but it should all be great. And so in the next week, I should be driving a van around Europe and going down to Portugal. My brother will be there, and so I'll go spend some time with him there and then do some van life there, and should be exciting. So I will see you in tomorrow's video. I have been making daily videos ever since the New Year, or the day before New Year's Eve. And so it's been such a soul-aligned experience being here on this platform and getting to talk about the things that I've been experiencing within my meditations, within my experience for years and years and years, but I, because of the separation, wasn't embodying it, wasn't feeling safe to talk about these things, even though it's my soul's calling to talk about these things. And so I'm so grateful to have you all here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those of you who have made donations to this channel. It means the world to me. Thank you for liking this video, subscribing if you're new here, commenting your experience with this message and what you want to hear more of, any of that. So thank you for putting up with all the dog barking, talking, whatever you could hear. But I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.